What is up, lads, and welcome back to episode number 7 of Eto'o's Road to Glory. And yeah, guys, this is the second take of recording this. The first time I recorded, the mic was on mute, which was a bit of an epic fail. So if I kind of sound a bit strange or forget to mention something that I was meant to mention, that's kind of why. So I do apologise about that. But yeah, guys, in this episode, it was possibly the most frustrating episode I've ever played or ever come across. This first guy sums it all up. Look at this team, he's got quite a nice team, and then you sort of spot the 3 bronzes, which is kind of weird. Then you just basically know what he's going to do. 3 substitutions from the bat, which was, slightly frustrating. What made it even more frustrating was, the substitutes that were coming on should have had sort of like zero chemistry like they once watch you had on the pitch, but they kind of didn't. They kind of played quite well, which is, quite frustrating. Fernandinho for him takes an early lead, which is, extremely frustrating. I've used the word frustrating about 5 times in about 5 seconds, but yeah. Nice finish, or to be fair, it was a pretty, a nice finish. I can't take anything away from that finish. But I do believe I get one back, which, was a nice sort of goal. But you'll sort of see in this episode, as it unravels, it's kind of just fail after fail after fail. And pretty much at the end of the episode, I do believe I create a new squad for Eto'o, because I was just absolutely enraged with my defence. And it just in the midfield in general, it was just not playing as well as I should have played. In the formation, I was kind of getting a bit sick of the formation as well. But what I want to talk about briefly, guys, is obviously the European Championships were on last night. The first game was Poland against Greece, and that was a pretty epic game, 1-1 between Poland and Greece. I was kind of expecting sort of like a tightish game, maybe a 1-0 or a 2-1, but yeah, 1-1, well, I suppose 1-1's quite tight, but it wasn't exactly a 1-1, there was penalties, there was red cards, there was penalties not given, there was goalkeepers getting sent off, there was referee horrendous mistakes. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy game. Now, yeah, my tip was Poland to do well, and kind of they were looking good, the first 10-15 minutes, but then second half, Greece just come out. I think the red card sort of inspired Greece to sort of play better, and they played really well. Second half, Greece, you can't take anything away from them, but that was quite a that goal there, I'm watching it back now, it even frustrates me now, that Lucas goal. The next goal you see here even frustrates me even more. I don't even want to look at it, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, the second game of the night was Russia against Czech Republic, and that was quite a one-sided game. Russia looked really, really good. Some of their sort of play, especially Arshavin, I do believe he's got a man of the match card, is now on Ultimate Team. He played really well. Some of his movement was just unbelievable. When he was at Arsenal, sort of like last season, or the last 2 years, basically, he wasn't very good. He didn't sort of try, basically. But when he plays for Russia, he's like a different player. I'm watching these penalties now. I'm watching this, and I'm just, my eyes are just, I just want to put needles in my eyes. It's just, it's so embarrassing losing to this guy. But yeah, this is just the biggest, I kind of put into words how angry I was after this defeat. It was just so frustrating. But yeah, Russia looked good. The movement from their sort of attack was really good, and the defense was quite solid as well, and they didn't really break into a sweat against Czech Republic. Czech Republic weren't the greatest. They're not the youngest squad anymore, Czech Republic. But the one player I did like from Czech Republic was the number 14, the kid that scored the goal, the left winger. He actually had quite a nice game. I think he's quite like a decent little player. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, after that game, I was quite frustrated. I went and bought a morale card. I went back into the sort of the Ultimate Team match finding world, and I come up against this guy. He's got another Brazilian side, which I was kind of slightly pissed off at. He's got some decent players. He's got Nilmar, Wellington. He's got Lucas again, another Lucas. I'm so frustrated with seeing Brazilians. That's beyond belief. But yeah, Nilmar there using his pace, just so quick, you just can't do anything about it. And then Lucas there, nice finish. That makes it 1-0 to him in the 9th minute. And this point I was thinking, oh my god, if I lose this game as well, I might just end the series now. But fortunately for me, this game kind of was slightly better. Martins have a nice goal, and Martins does play well in this game. I think Martins was the difference between this game and the previous game. In the previous game, I lacked a little bit of pace up front. Martins gives you that sort of dynamic pace, 90+ pace, left-footed as well, which is always a bonus. And he gets a penalty there, which was, mega frustrating. I'm not entirely sure why the referee gave it a bit of an impact engine fail, but that is that, I suppose. And then Martin's there, using his pace. And what I was talking about before, pace. You just cannot defend against pace in Ultimate Team. It's physically impossible. If someone's got like 90, 95 pace, you just cannot defend it. And then lovely little sort of play there from my striker. So I was quite happy with this movement. Little side pass there, lovely little pass. Martin's there on his right foot, first hat-trick. I was more than happy with that in the 77th minute. And that was how the game ended. I do believe it was 3-2 to me in this game, which was, you know, slightly better than the last game. But losing on penalties, I suppose, is no disgrace. But yeah, then Martin's there. That was the sort of the game there. Martin's played really well that game, actually. And then after that game, I went straight back in. I thought, you know what, let's have another game. Let's try and get another win. Come up against this guy who's got a Juventus side, who's, you know, he's got a pretty sick side. He's got a, you know, he's got an informed striker, and he's got a, you know, a Chiellini in defence. He's got, you know, 100 chemistry, you know, so he's got, you know, he knows how to play the game basically. And this was so frustrating, this game. I don't know what it was. I think it was, it might have been my plays were low on fitness, or just, he was just a decent player. You know, there's Vidal there with a nice goal sort of early on in the 3rd minute, and that kind of summed up this game. This game was quite a rout, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what it was. You know, I wasn't playing well, but yes, this guy kind of gives me inspiration. I'm kind of glad I played him, because you'll sort of see the squad I build next has a bit of quite a lot of Juventus players in it, so I probably have them to thank for my the next few episodes, because the next few episodes are slightly better than this episode. But yeah, guys, that was 3-0 to him there, Eli, and it was in the 77th minute. At that point, you know, it was game over pretty much, and I tried to get a goal back, and I do believe I get a goal back with Danny. You know, it was kind of like a lucky penalty, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure why the referee gave it. I thought he won the ball, but yeah, I'm not going to argue. Eto'o there steps up. Eto'o's not going to miss from that distance. You know, straight up and down to the right. Eto'o, you know, nice little finish from Eto'o. And then he does get another goal in the dying moments. Nice header from him, but what was my left back doing? Completely beaten in the air by Krasic. And talking of Krasic, I actually do get him for the next squad. And I don't know what it is. I don't actually like him. I don't know why. I don't know if any of you have experienced him. But yeah. Also, guys, what I want is predictions for the games tonight. Yeah, this video should be up tonight, between Holland and Denmark, which should be a really good game, and then Germany, Portugal. So if you want to leave your predictions in the comments below, I'll leave mine as well. This is the squad there. I list all the players overnight, because I was just so frustrated with the team. And yeah, you'll see the squad I do build. It's quite a nice squad, actually. I'm quite liking it. It's slightly unusual, the squad I sort of go on to build. But yeah, this is the sort of, I'm just checking the price of Eto'o, just make sure he sells straight away. It probably would have been cheaper for me just to buy a formation card for him, but yeah, that is the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. But yeah, all the players did sell in the day, which I was slightly surprised that some of them are kind of overpriced, but they all went, which was all good stuff. This is the team I built, guys. It's a 3-5-2 squad with Buffon in goal, Chiellini centre-back, with the two other Italian centre-backs. But you will see in the later episodes to come, I do sort of mix the defence up. I get a slightly better defence. In the defensive midfields, I've went for 2 Brazilian fellas from the Serie A, just to make sure I get the chemistry. And on the wings, we've got the 2 Juventus men on the wings. One's got 5-star skills, as in Eli, and Krasic has only got 3-star skills, which is slightly disappointing. But what I want to actually do with the the cam and the 2 DMs, I want to put a Menez there and 2 Paris Saint-Germain defensive midfielders, but I didn't have enough coins to do that, so that's why I went for that. So them guys. And yeah, there's the bench that you sort of see is sort of putting everyone together. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. It's kind of been a pretty poor episode for, you know, from gameplay and footage point of view and results point of view. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the episode, leave a like. I'll leave my Twitter in the description, and remember to leave your predictions for the big 2 matches tonight in the European Championships between Holland and Denmark and Germany and Portugal. So yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'm gonna sign out. So yeah, peace.